right, guys, let's get into it. The Tennessee Congressional District 7 race, the loss that should definitely terrify the GOP. So I want to talk to you guys about 5 things that this race just revealed. All right. So y'all remember me? My name is Courtney Teasley. And so I'm just going to talk plainly about this election. And yes, we lost the race. All right. We know that. However, the mindset coach in me couldn't be still. I'm here to help you reframe what this loss actually means. Not emotionally, remember, only strategically. Now, I'm a lawyer. I'm going to always teach you what I've done for many, many years. Chess, not checkers, is the name of the game that we play in the court of law. And so when you look at the numbers, the shifts, and the long-term implications, this loss is not the setback that some people may think it is, right? It's actually one of the most important political moments Tennessee has had in years, y'all. Let me give you these 5 strategic reasons why. Now, reason number 1, this loss revealed a new political reality. Tennessee is not as red as they told us. It's not as red as they have had us to believe. You ever know when someone just constantly is telling you something, you're constantly in your mind, and then you build up this thing inside, and it's like, oh my God, it's too hard, I'm not even going to try. And so what a lot of us have done living here in Tennessee, it's like, oh, it's deep red, there's nothing we can do, we just have to live with what they're doing to us. They don't care about our schools, they're letting people build, do whatever. Absolutely not. This race revealed what you didn't want us to know, but now we do. So for decades, this congressional district was considered unwinnable. Right? Trump won it by over 22 percentage points, Green by over 21, 30 and 40 point blowouts for Republicans. And yet, in the middle of December, in a low turnout special election, the margin shrunk to single digits. Do you hear me? That alone should have every strategist in the state sitting up straight, because it means the math is shifting. Every single county in this congressional district, including the very red ones, moved toward the Democrat. Every single one. And that tells us something important. The Republican stronghold isn't as strong as they want you to believe. This district is not unreachable, y'all. In fact, baby, it is officially in play for 2026. Now, reason number 2. This loss exposed how scared the GOP actually is. Now, don't forget the blue wave that just happened in November. However, let's look here. Let's be real. They treated this race like it was slipping away. They spent heavily. They sent their national figures. They amplified out of context comments about Nashville. They panicked. And you don't panic in a district you believe is safe. So the GOP saw exactly what we saw. If we can move a Trump over 22% of majority of that seat, right? We can move that from that 22 points to single digits in December. The midterms are a real threat to them. This loss, it shook them. And that matters, right? Even though they're trying to play it off now, like, oh, y'all lost. Oh, whatever. Oh my God, y'all. You see what's happening in Tennessee? People are really tired of us fucking with their livelihood. Woo. All right, so reason 3. If she had won, she would have had to defend the seat immediately. So y'all, ironically, if Democrats had won this special election, she would have had to defend that seat again in a huge high turnout election next year, which would have instantly mobilized the far right Republican voters. This loss gave us something way more valuable: time, data, clarity, and space to build without defending. So let's think of it as a short-term loss that actually opens the door to a much longer-term win. Now, reason 4. This race exposed the real gap in Black voter mobilization. Y'all, this is a critical one. This race really exposed something that we already knew in our gut, and it's that 1 or 2 organizations cannot carry the full weight of the Black voter turnout. Not in a city like Nashville. I mean, Nashville's a small town at its core, and in small towns, trust and authenticity are everything. When people don't trust the messenger, they cannot hear the message. Did you hear me? When people don't trust the messenger, they cannot hear the message. And so that is why the Native Street team was so effective so quickly, because people respond when someone they know and respect shows up. Someone who has roots here, someone who has receipts in this community, and someone who does more than just show up asking for a vote, right? This race proved that Nashville needs multiple organizations doing sustained, year-round Black community engagement and not just one or two groups. We need depth, not just presence. And so do the Black people in the surrounding counties. All right? Reason 5. This loss revealed the blueprint. Look, we now have the one thing Tennessee has not had in a decade. A blueprint. We know where the voters are. We know where the gaps are. We know which counties almost flipped. We know the formula that worked and we know the formula that did not, right? So instead of being discouraged, this should lock you in even harder because we now have time, real time, to organize intentionally before the midterms. And that's all hands on deck, y'all, okay? So, in closing, yes, losing sucks. We knew this was an uphill battle to begin with, right? But in the bigger picture, this was a breakthrough. This race showed us that Tennessee, a state that everyone wrote off, is shifting. It showed us that when Nashville's Black community is engaged authentically, things move. It showed us that trusted messengers matter. It showed us that these gerrymandered districts are not invincible. And it showed us that when we move strategically, we become unpredictable. Okay? This is our Stacey Abrams moment. A moment where a loss teaches us exactly how to win. Stacey Abrams didn't flip Georgia in one cycle. It was years of consistent, local, community-rooted, authentic groundwork. So yes, we lost Tennessee Congressional District 7 in this special election. But what we gained, the clarity, momentum, data, and a statewide awakening, is far more valuable in the long term. This is not the ending, y'all. This was the opening move of a long game. And if we commit now, together, the midterms will look very, very different. So, want y'all to stay locked in. The work is just beginning. Nashville natives, y'all tap in, baby. It's time for us to step to the forefront, right? Use our power and influence to really, really shift not only just our city, but this state. We lead the way, y'all. Let's go.